Hello, everybody, and welcome to About Nothing But Sports. I am your host, Ashley Nicole Baker, and I got a treat for y'all. I got especially the DC area. I definitely have a treat for y'all. I'm so excited to have this guy on my show. I am, as I was saying to you off camera, I am certainly in awe of what I see you doing on Twitter and how you just be dropping knowledge. He's the co-host of the Wizards of Gallery Place podcast. Did I say that right?
That's it. That's
I
it.
got it right. Domo Nelson, thank you for joining
Yes.
me today. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm blessed. I can't complain, given the circumstances. So, I'm blessed to be here.
Given the circumstances, I think I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, it's all
Yeah.
right. It's all right. Thugs cry. Hey, thugs
Yeah.
cry.
I
Thug
hear
cry.
that.
So it's all good. So listen, as I mentioned, y'all, I'm just listen, y'all know, I may talk a lot of trash, may, start some stuff, but I love learning and being a student of basketball and football. And there, 9 times out of 10, if I bring you onto this show, you're one of those people that I just love like learning. And so you might catch me a lot during this show, just listening, kind of just absorbing your knowledge because you are super knowledgeable. And like I said, DC, we're in for a treat. We're both in the DC area. You in DC, right?
Well, yeah, suburb of DC. I'm in Waldorf. I've been here for a little bit now. So,
Oh, you in
yeah.
Wakondorf.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. Right. Hey, look, we ain't got no cicadas, though. Yeah. Yeah.
oh wait, y'all not dealing with potatoes?
Nah, I haven't seen one. I haven't seen one. Not one.
You was kind of going out on me. You said you haven't seen any?
I haven't seen not one cicada out here in my neighborhood. Not one.
Oh no way! Oh my gosh! So obviously, I'm a little closer into DC than you are, and they are everywhere. They are loud,
Hmm.
annoying, and just like they were 17 years ago. So yeah, lucky you,
Hmm.
lucky you. You ain't got to deal with this.
Hey,
Lucky
look.
you. You ain't got to deal with the cicadas. You ain't got to deal with the cicadas. So,
Yep.
but it is something else that I want you to help me deal with. And this is definitely the number one priority for tonight's show. It's talking wizards. We talking wizards. We
Yeah.
gotta talk
Yeah.
wizards. And Wizards just I guess wrapped up their series with the Philadelphia 76ers. Gentlemen sweep, gone fishing in five, booked the trip to Cancun with a couple of other superstars, Brad and Russ and the rest of those
Yeah.
guys. And I kind of want to just start off talking about just the roller coaster that this season has been. It really has been from the draft and getting Russell Westbrook. I mean, obviously huge. That was a huge deal getting Russ. To the season starting, to the injuries,
Hmm.
to Russ's injury, to man, I remember. Oh man, I remember during the season where Brad was getting like 40, 50 points a game and we were still losing. Like just the roller coaster. Then Russ gets better and they go on this hot streak and end up making the playoffs, whatever. Tell me just your thought process through everything and your emotions
Yeah.
being, not only somebody that covers the Wizards, but a fan. Like what's been your mental this whole season for the Wizards?
I must say, like, this season in particular has been one of the most like volatile that I can remember.
Okay.
I mean, you start off 0-5, then you 3-12, then you 6-17, and then you play a little bit of 500 basketball. You kind of teetering. You beat a team that you're like, we shouldn't have beat them, but we got the W. Then you lose to like the Kings, you know, and then you go on this 17-6 run, and it's just like, I mean, Russ just looked like superhuman, you know, and it's like, but that you kind of got that PTSD of him missing dunks and missing layups, and you're like, Who's the real Russ? Who's the real Wizards? So this season was this season is definitely one to remember for me. Just being a fan of this team now for 20 plus years, like it's like this season here was just crazy, 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 crazy. From just celebrating to fans coming at your neck, posting your picture, and just wild. Like, it's just been wild. It's been a wild season. So yeah, wow.
Would you say that this is the wildest that you can remember in some time, or the wildest in general since you've been a fan?
This has been the wildest Wizards season I can remember. Period. Like, period.
Yeah.
It's never been like this, like crazy roller coaster type of emotions and just the fan divide. Never seen nothing like it here in DC like this. Never.
Yeah. And you know what? I think a lot of it has to do with the ascension of Brad. You know what I'm saying? Brad being the it guy. I mean, there's so many different fan bases that's like, we want Bradley Beal. And you know what I'm saying? I think that kind of, when it's like, I'm trying to like put it in a way like you got something, right? And you really don't realize its worth until other people start realizing how big of it is.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what started happening with the fans. Like, damn, they really checking for Brad, but he ours. And then you couple that with Russell Westbrook, who, with the trade of, being traded, John Wall being a part of the trade, him coming here to DC, just in general, I mean, Russ has played in championships before. He's been to Western Conference Finals before. He's been to NBA Finals before. He's been in deep playoffs. So you have the expectation that he's going to take you up another level. So I think we put a really high expectation on those two this first year.
Yeah.
I think that's why it was this. That's why it was like crazy, because the expectation was just crazy. I mean, when Russ got traded here, the thought process was they got the best backcourt in the East.
Yeah.
That was what everybody, that was the word. That was what everybody was saying. And so when it started getting like up and down, like you said, we started 0-5. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't have
what's going on. Yeah.
What I don't have time for. So I think everybody kind of went through it. It has been crazy. So there's a couple of topics with the Wizards that I definitely want to get your opinion on, because your opinion is very valued by me. There's always somebody watching. I don't think you know that I watch you as much as I do on Twitter.
I did. This is news to me. So I appreciate it. It's much appreciated.
Yeah. Of course. I was like, gotta get on this show, win or lose, gotta get him on this show. One of the things that I want to talk about, and I don't think that I think this is supposed to be later on down in the rundown, but I want to talk about it now, because it's kind of at the forefront. And you've been very vocal, and I want you to tell my listeners your stance on the one and only Scott Brooks. I want you to talk to the people. Do you give Scott another chance? Do Scott gotta go? What's up? What's your thoughts on him?
Look, I'm gonna get this out of the way now. Scott Brooks, I'm sure, is a great guy. I'm sure he's a good family man. Look, I'm gonna do the whole Stephen A. LeBron rundown. You give him all the credit and accolades. I'm sure he's a great guy, family man. I'm sure he does great for his community. I'm sure he's a good neighbor, good husband, father, all of that. I'm sure he's nice to Brad and Russ and Rui, all the guys, man. But he can't coach.
Tell me why. Give me a couple of examples.
So I feel like he's reactionary. So and his reaction is usually late. He's late to everything. Stuff that you'll see in the, on Wizards Twitter for months, he'll get to when his back is against the wall, where we done lost about 5 in a row, 10 in a row, or he coaching for his job. All of a sudden, Daniel Gafford is starting. Daniel Gafford should have been starting. Soon as you saw Daniel Gafford look like he could touch a 15-foot rim off the oop and then block like 4 or 5 shots in the game, he should have been put in the next game starting. Like,
let me tell you something. let me tell you something. Let me tell you what pissed me off about Scott. I know this was recent when they talked about that position. And he said, well, we have so many great players at that position. Everybody has to get time in. And everybody was just like, how are you an NBA coach saying that kind of, like, the moment whoever plays the best gets the job? Like, that's how this goes. And he's clearly the best player at that position. So that's one of the things that pissed me off about Scott. I was like,
and he was real sassy about it. Like, almost like, how dare you ask me that? As if it wasn't clear as day that Gafford was the most talented 5 on his team. But he was like, no, we have 3 talented centers. And I'm like, what? Like, nah, man. Alex Lim was on the street, man. You got him off the street. The Raptors cut him, and they needed big men, and they cut him. And I'm sure it wasn't, and he cleared waivers, so it wasn't like somebody was banging at his door to get him in on their roster. And then Lopez, I mean, I'm sure he had a couple offers, but he probably came here because we was giving the most money. Wasn't nobody else giving Robin Lopez a $4 million exception?
I don't even know how Robin Lopez is still in the league. I mean, hook shot kick, that's cool, but oh my God, it's been so many moments. I'm like, I don't know if you saw me tweet. I'm like, how is he even allowed on the team bus? Make him walk back to DC. Like, this is unacceptable the way he's playing. So I feel you.
Look, it's with Robin, it's just, he can't help. He got stone feet. He didn't do the transformation to his game like his brother did. His brother somehow turned himself into an elite 3-point shooter. He out here guarding the perimeter, guarding wings and guards and switching.
We got the wrong Lopez.
We got the wrong twin. So it's just like, for him to come out the mouth and say, we got 3 great centers on this roster. I'm just like, dude, come on, man. Who you fooling? Who you think you fooling, man? Like, pack it up, man. Like, pack it up. Like, I just think, beyond the roster stuff with him that he's late on, just from an X's and O's standpoint, I just don't think he runs an offense. I don't think he's very creative in how he tries to get guys the ball. From what I see, it's pretty much give it to Bradley Beal, give it to Russ. Occasionally, we'll run a pin down for Bertans 30 feet away that everybody in the defense knows is going to happen. Maybe after you see the fans complaining about it a couple games, you throw Rui a couple post touches in the first quarter, but then he don't get the ball the rest of the game, and that's pretty much the offense. And Brook Lopez post ups, the hook. You got to get the hook in there. And that's pretty much the offense, but it's one of the easiest offenses in the league to defend. And I think that's why you saw the Philadelphia 76ers just feast on us. Like, I mean, they totally took us out of what we like to do, which is run and gun. And they made it a half-court game, and we don't have a half-court offense. So we got our asses kicked.
Tell me, if you could, this is me being a journalist and probing and trying to just milk knowledge. But tell me, if you could give me who would be your starting 5 for the next season, and how you would run the offense. I know you just said this is what he does. It's the easiest offense to defend. Tell me, like, what would you do? Come on, Coach Domo.
Now, are we assuming it's the same roster we coming back with? We running back the same roster?
We're going to let me say this. Look, I am an avid I'm a Cowboys fan, right? So I'm just going to use it as an example. McCarthy got dealt a crappy hand last season.
Yeah.
Quarterback went down with injuries. I mean, we were just riddled with injuries. It was trash. Even before that, when Jason Garrett was still the coach. Jason Garrett was still the coach. We got a new offensive coordinator. We went away from, we got the names. Oh my God, I can't write. I'm so in basketball mode. I can't think of it.
I got you.
Scott Linehan was the offensive coordinator, and then we moved to the new offensive. I forgot his name. Good Lord. But that last year, with as much as I wanted Jason Garrett to go, that last year, I was like, okay, it's a new offensive coordinator. There's some new pieces. We got some new stuff on the defense. We got some new. Let me see what this same unit look like to make sure it ain't from up top first. Let me make sure it ain't from up top first. So that didn't work. And of course, last year McCarthy got dealt. So, and there's a lot of people, it was actually people in Dallas Cowboys Nation calling for McCarthy's job already. I'm like, y'all, come on, like, can he get a full healthy roster to like put into play to see how it'll go? That's kind of how I feel about. I'm 50-50 with Scott Brooks. So I kind of want to see with all these with everybody that we have, with this little bit of playoff experience that they now have, with Denny Avdia coming back and Thomas Bryant, who is Thomas Bryant was a big thing not being available. Okay. So maybe with all these pieces healthy, maybe one more year. If everybody can stay healthy, you got Rush, you got Brad, you got, you know what I'm saying? My only argument to myself against that is in moments where it's time to adjust and in moments where it's time to do certain, he's still not going to do that right. So what does that matter, the players, if you're still not going to be able to adjust in game, if you're still not going to start the correct people, if you're still not going to give the people that deserve the starting job, like, what are we doing here? So I'm on the fence. You know, I debate myself often. That's not crazy. Okay. I debate myself often.
I do it too.
Yeah. I'm like, well, maybe yes, because we're gonna have other pieces, but then I'm like, but you still don't know what to do with those pieces. So I can't trust you. We might as well move on. So if you could pick a start five, let's assume that everybody's coming back and healthy. You're starting five, and how would you run the offense? Maybe give it in context of a similar team, whatever team runs their offense similarly. How, you know, if you could compare it to that, if you would run it like a team that you already see how they run their offense.
Yeah, I got you. So, I mean, assuming no moves are made, I would pretty much keep the same starting. You're going to keep the same starting five, except you're going to have Daniel Gafford starting. So you're going to go Russ. Russ, Beal, Denny, Rui, and then Gafford. All right.
Got it.
All right, because you need Denny's defense. I think they missed that in the Philly series, his size and his defense, because he's probably our best man defender, you know, at 6'9". So you needed that in that Philly series. And then Gafford, obviously, I mean, he's just he's like a polo stick. He catch everything. He blocks shots. He has to be your starting five.
So over Thomas Bryant because of the injury.
Yes, coming off an injury. And I think because your two guards up front aren't the best defenders, you need that anchor in the back. Thomas Bryant, I love him. I love his versatility offensively, his shooting touch, but he's not a good defender. And you know what? I don't need him to be a great defender right now. That's why you got Daniel Gafford. Let Daniel Gafford play that role because that's what he thrives in. He has the instincts for, and let him do it. And Thomas Bryant, you can come off the bench, man, and kill second units. You could kill second units. So that's what I would do from a starting five standpoint. Now, as far as schematically, half court offense, because we know you got Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal on your team. You're going to run. You're going to be a fast break, fast paced team. I get that. But that can't be the only thing you do. You have to have a counter. You have to be able to play half court basketball, especially in the playoffs. So from that standpoint, the offense I would like to see is so that it's not so much two guys dominating the basketball. Because, I mean, you watched it. You see every time down is give it to Russ. You got guys rebounding it. Who they looking for? Russ or Beal. It don't have to be that way. You know, you got Beal going 1-on-5. He getting triple team. He's stuck in the corner. He don't know who to pass to because it's not much structure. You know, I feel like they need to run an offense where sometimes the ball is out of Beal's hands, where he can go off ball, he can run off a couple pin down screens, you know, and he can catch it, and he's catching it open in a position to score instead of him having to create the scoring opportunity for himself. You know, it's just an easier thing for him. And then he'll have some legs for you in the fourth quarter because he hasn't been trying to go up against boxing ones, triple teams, double teams, the whole damn game just to get his 30. Like it just, with this offense, it's just so difficult for guys to get open looks. And it doesn't have to be that way. I watch the Bucks. I watch other teams with great offenses. The Heat with Spoelstra. It's a lot more ball movement. It's a lot more passes. And it's not the ball sticking with two guys. And I feel like if we can get to that, maybe it's Brooks has some type of change. I don't know. But from what I've seen with him for 5 years now, even going back to when he had Wall, back in 2016, the Death Row Mob, it was still a lot of Wall and Beal, mostly Wall, patting the ball 20 seconds plus in the shot clock. And it's just after a while that wears on you and it's easy to defend. And you need to have an offense where I got to worry about all five guys. Kobe, the late great Kobe, rest in peace, Kobe. He talked about this. That's one of the things with the triangle offense that it did for him is that you couldn't just key in on Kobe and Shaq. You had to worry about Rick Fox. You had to worry about Derek Fisher. Those guys just weren't camping in the corner waiting to get the ball. Like they were moving, and that ball didn't stick. Yeah, that ball didn't stick. You had to guard them dudes, else they'd go off for 15, 20. And the Wizards just don't have that. If you look at their shot chart, all of these games against Philly, it was Russ and Brad taking 20 plus shots, and you never had nobody over maybe 8 attempts.
Let me ask you this. While we're there. Are the guys outside of Brad and Russ, are they that much of a threat to other teams? Do they have that much talent where, like you said, it just shouldn't be all Russ and Brad? We should have other folks should be feared as well, but are they talented enough?
I think so. I think now I'm a Rui. I guess I'm in the Rui fan club. Because when we originally drafted him, I hated the pick. I wanted Cam Reddish all day. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I wanted Cam Reddish back.
I think most of us wanted Cam. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because you saw the tools and he looked like a little young T-Mac. It was just like that's what we need, right? But his first year, he proved me wrong. And from what I've seen from him, his elite mid-range touch, he's already a great free throw shooter. He's shooting like 83%, 80% from the free throw line already. And now you're starting to see him extend his range with those tools he has physically. The big hands, he can palm the ball easily, and he can jump and put it on your head. I'm thinking of the dunk when he dunked on Anthony Davis in that Lakers game. That was crazy.
Ooh, that should have been dunked. Yeah.
It was crazy, right? He got a nice little step back mid-range jumper. And those are tools that young guys typically don't have. They typically have to build that skill set up over time. He already has it. So I feel like the only thing that's stopping him is that aggressive mentality and then just extending his range back to that 3-point line comfortably so where he can shoot it 5-6 threes a game, plus adding another 5 to 8 mid-range dunk layup attempts. Now you're talking about a 20-point score, right? But he can't do that if it's two guys pounding the ball, going 1-on-5, triple team, double team, and he kind of just camping in the corner. He's not going to get those opportunities. Like I think these playoffs he had a 71% true shooting percentage, which is ridiculous, but he had a 13% usage rate, which I'm like, okay, there is no third star that has a 13% usage rate. Like it just doesn't work that way. You had basically two guys trying to take on the whole Philadelphia #1 ranked defense, and you're not going to beat them with two guys. You're just not going to do it. You got to spread that ball. So I think Rui could be that guy. And I think honestly they could use Denny and Bertans better. I think Denny got some playmaking ability, kind of like a Nick Batum type where he can give you a little bit of everything. He can go get you 15 points, 6-7 rebounds, 5 assists. But again, if you're just going to camp him in a corner and tell him to be Trevor Ariza, well, how is he going to show you that part of his game? How is he going to get in rhythm? It's kind of the same thing we saw with Troy Brown when he was here. Troy Brown been a point guard since he was playing AAU in middle school. You get him here, you got this man playing power forward, got him playing small forward. Like, man, that camping in the corner, he needs the ball. So, I think they're gonna have to switch how they run offense to really maximize this young talent they got. Because otherwise they're gonna just keep going out in round one.
Yeah, I was a bit upset with Bertans as well. All that damn money.
Yeah,
Okay,
80 mil. That's a lot of money. 80
and
mil.
you ain't ah. I think
Yeah,
they looking for him to be like a Kyle Korver. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like obviously a sniper, and he.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, most teams probably didn't plan for Kyle Korver, but most teams probably was like, "Hold up, like we really can't forget about him because at any
yeah,
time he can just go off." And it's other players in the league that like that as well. But was kind of disappointed in Bertans, particularly that game where he just didn't score nothing.
yeah. He gave you a zip. He gave you a triple, quadruple zero.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. He gave
it
you
was
a triple,
crazy.
a quadruple double, all right. Like it was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
or quadruple single in that
yeah.
sense. But so, I can ask a million questions. Jesus, damn, I be mad sometimes. Like that folks got lives and can't sit and talk sports with me like for hours all the time. But
Yeah,
like when I
I
call on my
feel
show,
you.
I be mad kind of. If you could, or if you believe, if you could move some pieces, or who would you move first of all,
Okay.
and based off of what you see or what you hear, sources, whatever, what you get from the team, do you believe that they're going to move any major pieces, i.e., Russell Westbrook
No,
or
Russ
Brad?
not going nowhere.
Brad ain't going
No,
away. I don't think Brad
Russ and
is going
Brad ain't going nowhere. They
away.
they
Okay.
here. They here to stay.
Got
You don't trade this franchise cornerstone like Wall for a rental.
it. Got it.
Nah, yeah. Russ gonna be here. Brad definitely gonna be here. I think they're gonna try. I think the 2021 first round pick might be up for grabs. I think Davis Bertans might be up for grabs because that's 15, 16 million salary. You're gonna have to put that in there to get somebody back. Somebody that's quality. Like you're not getting a quality player back that make like 7 million. You know what I'm
Got
saying?
it.
So,
True.
um, in that line of thinking, and this name has been thrown out there a lot. I mean, Jeremiah Grant. The Maffick kid, father works right on up the road. Played in the league. We had his brother on the team earlier this year. Um, I think I think that's the play because I mean you just cannot. When Denny went down, you really had no option at small forward. You just didn't have it, and the Sixers they took advantage of that. They
Sure
tried to
did.
get a switch every time to get a guard on Ben Simmons or to get a guard on Embiid or Tobias Harris, and they just dogged them. I mean, they act like they wasn't even there. Poor Neto. I mean, he's 6 foot, and that might be generous, trying to guard Ben
I like
Simmons and
Neto. I
poor
like Neto.
Neto. I love Neto too, but
Neto got heart, man. Neto he'll die for rebounds.
yeah,
He's you know what I'm saying. But poor Neto because he
poor
definitely. I mean,
Neto.
what can he do? What can he do? Ben Simmons, come on now.
Come
What can
on
he?
now. Come on. I mean, Ben Simmons just moving that man out the way like he wasn't even there. And, that's
Right.
what you're supposed to do. You're going to put somebody, I'm 6'10", you're going to put somebody 5'11", 6 feet on me? Come on, man. That's
Yeah,
disrespectful. That's
it's really.
disrespectful. So, they have to address that. And I think Jeremy Grant is a perfect fit for what we're missing. And he can play that 3 and D. If you need him to camp in the corner, he can do that. If you need him to handle the ball, if you need him to go get you 20, he can do that. He can get to the free throw line. He can guard 1 through 5. So I think, and then of course the local ties. So he has he wouldn't mind playing home. I know his dad wouldn't mind having him play home. So they just gotta go out there and be aggressive. Tommy Shepard, he got to go be aggressive. You can't keep doing. I love the fringe moves he's made. I love him being able to get Gafford. You basically turn nothing into something. They basically got Davis Bertans for free. But the fringe moves are not going to get you into the top 4 seeds in the East. You got to go. You're going to have to spend a little draft pick capital. You're going to have to drop off a player that you might like to get back something that you can really go and do some work, do some damage with. So that's what I would do. I would go try to get Jeremy Grant. Throw that pick out there, Davis Bertans, see what the Pistons say. And then I think they need some more shooting. I like what Alec Burks did for the Knicks coming off their bench. I think he would be a perfect bench piece here where you could play him at the wing, small forward. If you want to go small, you can play him behind Brad. He can even handle the ball a little bit, man. I think he's an ideal 6-man type guy that I think the Wizards are missing as well. Yeah, and he'll add some shooting.
Outside of that, though, and we're gonna go back to you saying, because you probably got a couple of other shooters in mind. Outside of the shooters, though, and that guy from New York, if you could have your way, who would you have be to come into Washington and be that third person for Russ and Brad? Who would fit perfectly? What type of player would fit perfectly?
So in a perfect world, and I know he gets a lot of heat. I've given him some heat, but I've wanted this guy since
I know
John
you ain't about
Wall.
to say. Oh, I know you ain't about to say who I think you're about to say.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to say it. But it's a lot of dominoes that got to fall right to make this happen. But I think Paul George would be. I know you're about to say I mean, I'm a fan. I know. And I've given him some heat before, but the kid is talented. He's so talented. I was saying the other day, comparing, because people was comparing him with Jimmy Butler, and I was just saying, Jimmy Butler got the dog, but he don't really have the skill set. And then Paul George got the skill set, but he don't really have a dog.
I saw that.
I truly believe that. But I think here with Russ, and you saw when they were teammates before in OKC, Paul George had his best season. And I think Russ can bring that out of him again. And now you're adding that with Beal, a 30-point per game dog.
Could that you said a lot of dominoes will have to fall in place. Let's say, let's say, and this ain't gonna happen. Damn it, this better not happen. Let's say the Mavericks pull this off tonight and send the Clippers packing. What kind of dominoes will have to? This is me. Look, I know you having a good time over there talking, but this is really me just milking the hell out of you for knowledge right now. Like, what? I mean, obviously, we would have to get rid of Bertans, and would Rui have to go? Like, who would we have to ship out to get? Will we have a team after, or would it just be him, Brad, and Russ running up the damn field?
Hey, at that point, damn the team. They're gonna have to figure it out. It's a lot of dumb.
We'll get out there and play for free.
They're gonna have to have trials or something. We're gonna have to go on about there. I'm gonna have to go ahead and dust these knees off, see what I can do again. It's a lot of dominoes, and by dominoes, I mean they would have to lose this series to the Mavs. And then on top of that, Kawhi would have to leave because he's not under contract next year. So if Kawhi say, hey, look, man, Paul George ain't what I need. Y'all can't give me what I need. I'm going to go on over here to the Miami Heat, or I'm going to go on over here to the whoever, who knows. Where, Kawhi, he a different cat. If he do that to him, is Paul George going to want to stay there with Luke Kennard?
Could the Wizards afford him though? Because he just signed that extension.
He did
with the Clippers.
He did, and I believe he's making. I think next year he's going to be making somewhere in the $30 million range.
I think that the extension was 200, something like that.
Yeah, so it's an escalator deal. So the first year of the deal was going to be the lowest price tag on that. So if you was going to do it, you're going to have to do it now,
right.
Because when he started making $50 million a year, you can't get that. You can't get that. And they would really have to trade just about everybody, not named Russ and Beal. In addition to probably some picks there, because the Clippers would be trying to recoup some picks back that they lost in getting him there. So it would be a huge swing.
Like the Clippers doing all that, the Clippers would be in complete rebuild mode.
Oh yeah, this is rebuild mode. We rebuilding around Rui, Denny, and whatever picks we get, and
So you're saying that his price tag is just too expensive. He's that Tiffany's ring I got my eye on one of these days.
Yeah.
It's pricey as hell. Okay.
It's pricey. That price tag is long.
Yeah.
That's a long price tag. But it would be the biggest trade probably in Wizards history if they could, if like I say, the dominoes fell right, some recruiting is done, and they could get them east. It would be the biggest trade in Wizards history, and you would immediately have the Wizards penciled in as a top 4 seed and the top 3 seed probably in the conference. Because I mean, Russ, PG, and Beal. Oh man, I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see it. Let's shift, because I want to talk about some other series.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, this show we kind of coming to the end of the show, and again, like I said, this show was primarily going to be Wizards talk, but I definitely want to talk about the other series. I mean, I guess I got to just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. Lakers fall to the Phoenix Suns. Matter of fact, we'll go there. Lakers fall to the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix takes that series in 6. What's next for the Lakers? What's next for the Lakers? Let me just say this really quick. These teams go out here and they win championships. And for some unapparent reason, they decide to fix what ain't broke. I was very surprised that they let Rajon walk, that they didn't retain JaVale or Dwight.
That money.
I know.
Money.
I know, and I know the price tag for the players go up once they win something like a championship.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But they let a lot of pieces walk and put a lot of new folks around. And those guys really wasn't going to be able to, as we saw, produce the offense in the event that LeBron and AD was either out or just had off games. Yeah. So what's next for the Lakers, in your opinion?
Well, first thing they got to do, they got to go put AD in a hyperbaric chamber, put that man on ice, let him get fully healthy. They need to do a full rundown of his diet, his workout regimen, his load.
Chuck all that man.
They gotta make sure he's healthy, because if he's not gonna be healthy and he's only gonna play 2/3 of the games every year, you're done. Because LeBron can't handle that workload. He's not Cleveland Cavaliers LeBron back in 2007. He can't do that. He can't take Boobie Gibson to the finals no more. Like, he cannot do that.
Golly, you bring up holy crap, man! You just took me that time machine moment. Oh my!
He can't do that no more. He's too old. Them knees. Look, I'm 30. I'm about to be 35. Braun 36. Them knees, they different when you get to that level. Like, it's just the knees. You can't do it. You can't. I don't get how much he spent on his body.
Yeah,
can't do it. Father Time is undefeated. So they got to get AD right first. And then I think they got to get some real shooters in there, like Alex Caruso. No, he's not a shooter. Kyle Kuzma,
hell of a defender though.
Kyle Kuzma, nah, not a shooter. He got some cool kicks though with Puma. I like what he's doing with Puma, but he's not a shooter. So they gotta. Harrell, love his offense, but his defense so bad you can't keep him on the floor when it matters, right? That's why he didn't play in this series, because they was just, anytime he was on the court, whoever he was guarding, they was going right at him in the pick and roll. Chris Paul was just, right there. We're going to get him. So you couldn't play him. So they got to get some guys in there that can play some defense, and they got to get some shooters, because when LeBron kicking out, he kicking out to Alex Caruso and Kyle Kuzma and who else they had out there? McLemore off the street. Like, that ain't going to cut it.
Yeah.
That ain't going to cut it. They got to go get some shooters, and they got to go get some depth in the event that AD does get hurt. Because I feel like at this point now, it's a foregone conclusion AD gonna miss.
It's giving Chris Paul vibes in the playoff. Chris Paul vibes, like it's almost.
It's always an injury.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel bad for him because I love his game. Top 5 player when he's healthy, but yeah.
They call him the glass man.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, because it's like you can't help the man want to play. He can't help he get hurt like that, but yeah, it is what it is.
So Brooklyn and the Bucks are set to match up.
Yeah,
That game is actually Saturday. Is it? Yeah. Is
I
it?
believe so.
Yeah, it is
I believe
Saturday.
so.
Let's place that. Yeah. Um, that is about to be wild.
I'm gonna love that series.
Who do you? Oh, I just can't wait. Who you got coming out of that series? That's a toughie. Now I'm gonna say, listen, it just. I said this in the beginning of the season,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm staying by it now. I will pull out the receipts. I just don't think it matters what defense they do or do not have. And I said at the beginning of this season, not the beginning of the season, when James Harden came on
Yeah, when
board,
it got hard. Right, right,
the
right.
games together. I said to myself, it does not matter that they don't have. They'll probably be the first team ever in history to allow the opponent to score 100, 130 on them every game. And it does not matter because they'll score 135, 140. Like it just
Yeah,
won't matter. Defense is just not. And I stand by that. I do not believe that there's going to, especially with the Lakers out.
yeah, yeah.
I don't believe that there is any team. And the only reason why I even throw the Lakers out there is because teams tend to forget what the hell they doing when they playing LeBron. I don't understand. They just forget like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
same thing for the Patriots. When
yeah,
teams go
yeah.
against the Patriots back in the Tom Brady days, they just forgot how to play. Everything that they was practicing just went out the window.
Yeah.
Once they saw what time Tom Brady was on, they just same thing with the
That's because
Warriors.
Braun know all the plays. That's why he know all your plays.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only reason why I say outside of the Lakers that would have given them some go, but I still don't feel like the Lakers would have beat them 4 times in a 7-game series. I just don't see any team. And once the Bucks won their first series, once they, did they sweep Miami? Yes, they swept
Yes, they
Miami in
did.
that game.
Got him up out of
Once
there.
they swept Miami, everybody was calling for them to beat the Nets, and I had to slow your roll, Smoking Joe. Let's slow your roll because y'all have forgotten
It's levels.
what there are levels what these guys
It's
can do.
levels. It's
So
levels.
I'm going Nets in 5.
Ooh, oh, you being disrespectful. Wow.
That's not being disrespectful. That's being
5?
I'm going Nets in 5.
Ooh.
All right, I
Wow.
might be a little more respectful, but no,
Damn.
dead serious.
Wow.
I'm going Nets in 5. I think that
Wow.
the Bucks are going to get one of those games home.
Okay.
They'll get game 3. They'll get game 3 when they
Wow.
shift back to Milwaukee, but I just don't. And I know they got Drew, they got Giannis, they got Chris. Oh God, I get it. I promise you, I get it. I get it, y'all. I see it. Please know I see it. But I see Kyrie Irving and I see James Harden. Now Drew will have to lock down one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Even then, even with Drew doing all he doing, I still see either Kyrie or James Harden going for 20. That's still enough. And then then whoever he decides not to defend, they're gonna get off, and nobody is capable of defending LeBron James. Let's not bring up Joe Harris. I just don't think that they have enough. People forget. I understand the defense the teams have, but for a team like the Nets, you have to find a way to keep up offensively too. And if you're exerting we're humans. If you're exerting so much defensive, you chasing Kyrie around, you chasing James Harden around, you chasing Kevin Durant around. That's taken away from your offense. I don't know if you're going to be able to hang with them offensively because you're going to be so keyed in defensively. As the series go on, you're going to wear down.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't see them getting past them 5 games. 5 games. They get
5 games. Wow. All right, so I think this is going to be a 7-game series. Yeah, and I say that because I feel like Drew really changes it for the Bucks because he's going to guard Harden 94 feet. Like he's going to make it so that Harden just ain't just lollygagging up the court. He's going to make Harden work. Like, you're not going to stop
Okay.
these guys from scoring. You're not going to stop them from getting their 25, 30, right? But what
Got
you
it.
want it to be is an inefficient 25, 30. Like, yeah, you got 25, 30, but you had to take
Fair.
28 shots to get it. You know?
Got it.
That's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to muck it up. You're gonna have to make them try to play hero ball where like a Joe Harris don't really get the open looks that he want to get. You know, where Blake Griffin don't get them rim runs that he really want to get, right? Where it's just a three-headed monster that you're just trying to go 1-on-5, taking turns every time down. It's inefficient. If you can do that, I feel like the Bucks got some really good depth. I think they're a deeper team than the Nets. Like, the Nets are top heavy. I feel like it's a thin roster, right? But the Bucks go a legitimate 10, 9, 10 deep of guys
Fair.
that all can shoot. Forbes. I mean, he hit what? What did he hit in that game? He hit about 9 threes, 10 threes.
Yep.
Bobby Portis can shoot it.
Yes.
I mean, everybody on that team except Giannis can shoot it. So if you're gonna try to build out the paint.
Oh, looks like he went out. Can you still there? You good?
I'm here. Can you see me? I'm here.
Yeah. You good.
Yeah. So if you're gonna try to keep Giannis out the paint,
That's what I was going to ask you, because we've seen teams in the past build this wall for Giannis. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, so you can build the wall, but there are adequate shooters all over the floor now at every spot that can make you pay for that. And then too, Coach Bud has changed some of his offense too. It's not so much the give it to Giannis 5 wide, Giannis trying to get downhill and kick the shooters. He's evolved the offense some where you got Chris Middleton handling the ball now, and they got Giannis in the dunker spot. So now you got Giannis in the paint already. He ain't at the top of the key trying to dribble. He already in the paint, and you got Middleton or Drew handling the ball, breaking you down. Now what do? Because if Giannis get it in the paint, it's a bucket. You either gonna have to foul him or it's a bucket.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Bud for making that switch, because now it makes them more versatile. They got counters now where it's not just Giannis at the top of the key, 5 wide, downhill, kick the shooters. Like, they got some versatility to their game. That's why I think now we could go 7. If this was the old Bucks mobs from last year, years before, I'd be right with you. I'd be saying Nets in 5. But I think this is a different Bucks team. I think they showed that with how they was able to handle Miami, because Miami's a good defensive team. And you saw what they did to them in the bubble last year. They couldn't do that this year because they had Giannis down there in the paint, and you got Drew Holiday out there who could break you down off the dribble, and he hitting 39% from 3. Middleton can cash. DiVincenzo can cash. Portis, Lopez can cash.
They're gonna miss DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
Because he out? Is he out for this series? I think he's.
You know what? I don't know. I haven't looked at the injury report.
I gotta look too. But if DiVincenzo, that's they're gonna, but maybe not miss him too much.
They should be able to survive. Because Forbes has really, really come on, man. That dude I knew he could shoot it. I didn't know he could shoot it like that. Like, I didn't know he could hit you about 9 threes in a game. That's crazy. So, they got some players that I think when KD, Harden, and Kyrie off the floor, I got the Bucks bench giving them some problems. And like I said, the versatility with the offense, they can make it. I think they can make it a 7-game series, and I still got the Nets winning, of course. But I think it's gonna go 7.
Is Drew a starter?
Oh, for sure.
So that's probably just thinking schematically as well. I think when you let James Harden run that second unit, it's almost like giving him his own team.
Yeah, so he can play like he played in Houston. Yeah.
How much of that is going to affect how Bud, because is he going to have Drew out there? If Drew is going to be, you know what I'm saying, starting, but Harden is going to be majority on that second unit because he played better. That's what I'm just thinking. I'm like, that's kind of how you you take Drew out of the conversation when you come to James Harden.
Yeah, maybe if I'm Bud, I'm every time Harden in the game, Drew is in the game. Because I need to make it, because Harden to me is the key to the Nets.
Yes.
We saw the records. You see the splits when Harden play, they like an 85% win percentage. When he don't play, they damn near 500. So for me, you got to take Harden out of his game. You got to muck him up, make him turn the ball over, make him make bad decisions, make him be that inefficient guy that you sometimes saw in the playoffs in Houston, where, he gets his 30, but it's on 28, 30 shots, 35 shots, make it tough for him. And I think that'll take everybody else out their rhythm, because if it's just KD and Kyrie trying to go one-on-one, I think the Bucks can deal with that. I think they can deal with that. You can put Giannis on KD, give him that length, make it difficult for him. And I think we've seen before, Kyrie, great player, but he's not a guy that can carry the load. So,
no.
Yeah. So, I think it's 7.
You're very convincing. And because you're so convincing, maybe Nets in 6.
Okay,
that's fine. That's fine. Maybe. I think I'm going to still hold off on that. I do want to see how tomorrow's going to look.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they, sometimes I think the Bucks might come out a little rusty, but I don't know. They're young guys. The Bucks probably won't affect them because they haven't played in a week. Yeah. But I hear you. I promise I do. I hear you.
We gonna see.
Nets, man, they got a whole lot, and Steve Nash will figure it out too. I think he's good enough to make adjustments. We'll see.
He's gonna have to coach this series. He's gonna have to coach.
He is gonna have to coach.
This ain't the Celtics. He's gonna have to coach this series.
He definitely gonna have to coach this series. He definitely have to coach this series. So that's exciting. That's one that I'm really looking forward to. Mavs and Clippers, Game 6, elimination game for the Clippers, back in Dallas. Now, based on the way the series is going, nobody's winning at home. So one could believe that the Clippers are going to go into Dallas and push a Game 7. Yep. But what do you think? I'm just through with the damn Clippers, man. Man, when I tell you how pissed, I cannot remember the last time. I think I'm getting my anger confused with disappointment, because I cannot believe they did all that they did last year just to have a second round exit. Like that really pissed me off. Like, y'all make commercials, y'all the new kings in New York. of LA.
There's a whole lot of stuff being said.
Man, when Kawhi and PG came, Lemon Pepper Lou and Pat Bev in the camera. Oh, the price just went up. All that videos, all on the
Pat Bev was talking heavy smack.
Man,
all that.
Look, and he's a trash talker in general, but I said last season I felt like that joint had went to another level, and that's fine. Ride the coattails of your superstars, but I knew I wasn't the only person that had noticed that this man was talking like 10 times the trash he was talking before. Yeah. Just to lose to the Denver Nuggets in the second. I cannot tell you, just as a media person, how I was so ready for that Clippers Lakers Western Conference final.
Was ready.
I was robbed. I felt robbed. I feel robbed still. So this season, I don't even have nothing to say to Clippers. I'm pissed. I love me some Paul George. I'm going to watch Paul George. But as far as are they going to win? Are they going to advance? How good they look? They definitely made some moves. Ty Lue had them looking really good in the season, but here we go again, struggling against the team that you struggled with in the first round last year, and had KP played and wasn't injured, we just don't know how that really would have turned out. I would assume that for this game, again, we're going to need heroic efforts from Kawhi and Paul George. And for the love of God, they are going to have to take on the task of Luka. They are ducking Luka smoke so bad. And it's because now I don't know if you can go with this now tonight for the game tonight. For those that don't know, this show is pre-recorded. But for the game tonight, but last game was the perfect game to double Luka because nobody else was hitting but Luka. So the fact that's on Ty Lue, because that wasn't an in-game adjustment made, and it should have been. But Paul George and Kawhi are also veteran enough to know ain't nobody else hitting. This man is cooking. We gotta double. Nobody double. Nobody decided to take on the task of Luka. They scared of being on a poster. They scared of the social media. He cook you. They scared of what we gonna do on social media. I mean, they're trying to save face too much. If they allow Luka to go off like that again, in my Dame pose.
Yeah. You can't have. I think the last game I saw Terrence Mann was guarding Luka. Like, come on now. You can't. They can't. I mean, come on now. You got two.
That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable when you got PG and Kawhi.
That's unacceptable. Facts. Somebody gonna have to not be scared. Somebody gonna have to wear their pride on their chest and try to take Luka out the game. Like, again, he's another one. He's so crafty and skilled. You're not gonna stop him. But you can't let him get 40, 10, and 12. Like, on like 60%. Like, you just can't. You cannot allow that to happen, because for real, to me, the Mavs aren't really that good. Like, if I look at their roster for real, their roster not that impressive to me.
For real, they struggled last game. For real, that was all Luka, and then KP some big shots down the stretch. But last game was all Luka. They don't have, like you said, they're not impressive on paper.
Yeah. On paper, right? Luka make it happen. Luka make it happen. It's kind of like it reminds me of what LeBron was doing with the Cavs. You know, his first run with the Cavs, where it's just like you look at their roster and you like, I wouldn't want this dude on my team, but he making it happen. So they're gonna have to find a way to muck it up for Luka and make him a little more inefficient, make him more uncomfortable, put a big body on him, because you're gonna put some little guard on him. He's 6'8", 6'9", 230. You're like, you gonna move him, and he crafty, so he gonna get the free throws. He gonna get the threes, the step back.
Well, he's not getting the free throws. He's trash at the free throw line.
Yeah, he been missing. He definitely been. He's streaky like that.
He's gonna draw the foul. He gonna draw the foul. He'll mess.
I tell you what though, he make him in the fourth quarter. He make him in the fourth. So that's all that really matters. If the fourth quarter comes, it's a close game. I trust Luka to close that thing. So Kawhi gonna have to put on his big boy pants and go out there and be that first team All NBA defensive wing that he can be, because you try to stick the young guys on him or the guards, y'all going home. Now the Wizards fan in me that want to see all them dominoes fall right, I would love to see it, because oh my God, the Twitter is gonna explode. It's gonna explode. The Clippers go out like this.
Man, you go to Twitter. I'm logging off. Yeah. Oh my God. I have been the spokesperson for Paul George all season. I might as well reactivate it. I might as well just go ahead and hiatus, because it's about the next. So who you got winning? Not the Wizards fan in you.
You know what? I'm gonna say Kawhi and Paul George figure it out. They pull it through. Okay. They're gonna go win 2 straight, and they're gonna go win it in 7.
Got it. Okay.
I can't tell you how they gonna do it, because
how they should do it. We just explain how they should.
Yeah. Because But it's just, you know,
that's containing Luka.
I just feel like this one up there. At this point, y'all know everybody plays. You know what they trying to run. You know what they're gonna do. You gotta have some heart and some pride, and you gotta just go execute.
Got it.
Simple as that. Go be great.
I hope you're right. Eastern Conference Finals prediction, real quick. Who you got in the Eastern Conference Finals?
I'm gonna go Nets, of course.
Okay.
And see, the thing with the Sixers, it's like, is Embiid gonna play? Is he gonna play? Because if he's not playing,
the thing about it is I think they can beat Atlanta without him.
Really? See, I don't. I think Trae Young ready. I think he's ready to go.
You talk about shooters. The Sixers got a mob. They got
some shooters. They definitely got some shooters, but they don't have Trae Young. They don't have Trae Young though.
Can they put Ben Simmons on Trae Young?
No.
Nah, too fast.
No.
Too fast.
Trae too quick. Like he's too quick. You can put Ben Simmons on Russell Westbrook. You're not putting Ben Simmons on, on Trae Young. Nah.
Well, I don't know. I think Joel is still day to day. But if Joel is healthy, you're going 76ers in Nets.
Oh, for sure. But if Embiid can't hack it, or he kind of look like how AD's been looking, they going home. they going home. So I'll say finals, Eastern Conference Finals, Sixers, Nets, assuming health of Embiid.
Got it.
And yeah, for sure.
Western Conference Finals prediction. That's crazy. Wow, not the Lakers.
so you know what? Before Jamal Murray got hurt, I had Denver winning it all.
Okay.
But now with no Jamal Murray, I think it's just too tall of a task. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say the Clippers find a way. The Clippers find a way through this early adversity.
Okay.
That Paul George slander gonna get bottled up, and he gonna come through. Him and Kawhi, they gonna come through, and they're gonna get to the Western Conference Finals, where they will play. Let's see. Let's bracket here. So they will be going up against.
If they win this series against Dallas, they playing Utah.
They got Utah.
So you're saying that they would get
Utah. Suns got to beat the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I think the Suns get through. So I'm going to go Suns Clippers.
Here's my deal. There has to, just for the sake of, and whatever, they probably don't have a hand in it. There's only so much the league can do. You got to have this villain of a team in one conference, I feel like, and then this villain of a team in another conference. I feel like that the Clippers are going to get past Dallas because there's no way that one of those LA teams are not there. It's too star-studded. And it's a big market still. It's still that big market.
Yeah.
So I feel like you want to have some type of heavy hitter market still there. You got that in the East with the 76ers and the Nets.
For sure.
Enough heavy hitter enough market wise. So I'm gonna go Clippers. I actually probably will go Clippers Suns too.
Okay.
In the West. If the Lakers had gotten by Phoenix, I would have put the Lakers there, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
we finally got that matchup we won it last year, for sure.
Yeah. The East, definitely the Nets. And again, depending on the health of Joel Embiid, the Sixers, the Nets and the Sixers.
Yeah.
And that would be if Joel Embiid could be healthy and that actually comes to fruition, that's going to be a great series. That's going to be a great series. And in the West, if it's Phoenix and the Clippers, God damn, I don't know. The Clippers might run them out. I mean, the Suns might run them folks out the gym. My God. God.
Because the Suns got Ayton. I think Ayton is the difference in that series because they don't have the size to play him. And Devin Booker could get him some of the same problems Luka is giving him.
Wait, who's the centers for the Clippers? Batum,
Zubac.
Oh God, never mind. What you said?
They don't really have one. Like they really don't have one where you're like, get him the ball and he's like an anchor. They don't really have one. So I feel like Ayton could eat versus the Clippers, and Devin Booker and Chris Paul gonna do their thing. So
yeah. All right. Yeah. So real quick, we wrapping up. Thank y'all for tuning in. We wrapping up. Finals prediction, real quick. Who you got? Who you got? Well, yeah. Who you got making the finals, and who do you have as a winner?
I got Suns Nets, and it's gonna be Nets in 5. Like that's light work for them. That's light work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Real light work. Yeah. It's gonna be good. It'll be good. I don't have a finals prediction right now, but it's my show, so I can do it later on. I gotta make you listen to the show, Domo. I gotta make you listen.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that for sure.
But thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you. I told you, I told this man 30 minutes. And sorry, but I had a million questions and I wanted to hear your knowledge on it. I told you that was going to happen. But thank you for being there. Thank y'all for listening. Please tell people where they can catch your podcast and where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, for sure. Wizards of Gallery Pace podcast. You can catch me on Twitter. My name is Domo, Domo, and it's _LXXXVII. For those who don't know, that is 1986 in Roman numerals.
I'll tag him from my page, y'all.
Yeah. So I talk my junk on there all the time. I try to keep it 100. So yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I can spot you when you 100. When you ain't got no cup cards, I love it. I gotta have you on my show. I gotta rap with you. I gotta talk to you. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Thanks again for joining me, Domo. You guys can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram, AshleyBaker_21. Make sure that you subscribe to the show on YouTube. We're also available on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts and Anchor, as y'all see at the bottom of the screen. We got to do this again sometime, Domo.
For sure. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad you had me on.
Thanks again. Thanks again for being here. All right, y'all. We out. Same time, same place next week.